Have you ever really stopped to think about what happens when you hit send on an email or click on a link? It feels instant, right? Well, today we're going to follow that single click on an incredible journey from your keyboard across the entire globe to see how this amazing digital world of ours is actually built. Seriously, think about it. You click a button and information from thousands of miles away just appears on your screen. It feels like magic, but of course it isn't. So, how does that actually work? What's happening behind the scenes? Let's pull back the curtain and find out. All right, to get this, we need to look at the blueprints. We're going to start with the absolute fundamentals of our digital universe. We'll begin right there in the room with you, and then zoom all the way out to see the entire planet. Okay, so it all starts small, right in your local neighborhood. And in the digital world, that's called a local area network, or LAN. This is probably the network you interact with most. It's what connects all the computers at your office or your school, or even just your laptop, your phone, and your smart TV at home. Think of it as your own private digital cul-de-sac. But, to get out into the big wide world, you can't stay in your cul-de-sac. You need to hit the highway. And that's where the WAN, or Wide Area Network, comes into play. Just like the name says, this network is wide. It's not about connecting one building. It's about connecting computers and networks over huge distances, literally all over the world. So let's just boil it down. A LAN is local. It's the network in your house or office. A WAN is what connects all those different LANs together, globally. The easiest way to think about it, your LAN is your neighborhood street, but the WAN is the entire planet's interstate highway system. Okay, this brings us to a super common mix-up. We throw around the words internet and web like they're the exact same thing, but are they? What do you think? The answer, and this might actually surprise you, is a definite no. They're not the same at all. And this is a really important difference. The internet is the infrastructure. It's the hardware, the routers, the servers, and literally over 1 million kilometers of physical cables laid on the bottom of the ocean connecting continents. It's the giant global network that carries everything, your emails, your files, your video calls. The World Wide Web is just one of the services that runs on the internet. It's all the websites with the text and pictures that you see in your browser. Here's the best analogy. The internet is the entire road system of the world. The web is just one type of vehicle that drives on it. Okay, so we've got the map, we understand the roads, but how does the traffic, the information itself, actually move along these digital highways? We all do this 100 times a day. When you're streaming a movie or receiving a picture you saw online, you are downloading. You're copying data from the network to your computer. And when you post that picture to Instagram or attach a file to an email, you're uploading. You're sending data from your computer out to the network. Simple as that. And of course, how fast this all happens is a huge deal. That speed is measured in bits per second. Way back when we were thrilled to get speeds in kilobits. But today, we expect high-speed connections measured in megabits per second, or Mbps. That's what lets us stream 4K movies without that dreaded buffering wheel and have video calls that don't freeze. But look, this amazing system isn't just about technology and cables. It's really about what it allows us to do. This whole infrastructure has totally changed our society, creating completely new ways for us to connect, to do business, and to live our lives. I think one of the most powerful things to come out of this is the virtual community. This is basically any group of people who get together online because they share a common passion or interest. They could be on opposite sides of the planet, but they can still build real, powerful connections without ever being in the same room. And these communities, they almost always have 3 key things in common. First, there's a creator, someone with the idea and the vision to get it started. Then you have the members, the people who show up because they share that interest. And finally, you need a platform, the digital meeting spot, like a Facebook group, a Discord server, or a Slack channel where everyone can hang out. And it's not just about community, right? This global network has completely revolutionized how we do business through e-commerce, which is really just a fancy way of saying buying and selling stuff online. And this happens in a few different ways. The one we all know is B2C, business to consumer. That's you buying a book from an online store. But there's also C2C, consumer to consumer, which is what happens on sites like Etsy or eBay. And then there's massive B2B, business to business, transactions that are really the engine of the global economy. This digital revolution is also changing how we interact with our governments. E-government is all about using the internet to make government services and information way more convenient and accessible. I mean, think about paying your taxes online instead of mailing in a form. That's e-government.
And just like e-commerce, it has different categories. The one that affects us the most is G2C, or government to citizen. It's all about making public services, like renewing your car registration or finding information, way more efficient for all of us.
So, we've built this absolutely incredible digital world that connects us all. But that brings us to a really important final question. With all this amazing tech and automation, where do we as people fit into the picture?
Well, it really comes down to this. Computers are unbeatable at certain things: repetitive tasks, crunching massive numbers, doing jobs that are dangerous for people. But humans, we shine where there's nuance. We're built for handling complex personal problems, for understanding context, and for interpreting what things really mean. A computer can process data, but only a human can truly understand.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? No matter how slick the technology gets, sometimes you just need to talk to another person. That ability to empathize, to listen, and to find a creative solution, that is a uniquely human skill, and it is totally irreplaceable. So I'm going to leave you with this to think about. As our digital world becomes even more powerful and woven into every part of our lives, what are the things that we absolutely must keep human? What is that one thing that technology can never and maybe should never replace?